Hello, Brentwood High School. I'm Luke Fontesha.
And I'm Oliver Brogdon. Here's what's making news.
It's been a rallying point for Brentwood High. Students and staff have raised thousands of dollars for the son of our custodian, Narciso Rico, who has cancer. Ford Waldrop has more on the fundraising efforts.
Brentwood High is on a mission of mercy. Last month, students set up collection jars around campus as well as a GoFundMe account for someone they didn't even know. That someone is Jesus Gomez, who is a senior at Columbia Central High School. He is also the son of BHS custodian Narciso Rico. Jesus was diagnosed with osteosarcoma earlier this fall.
It's a type of bone cancer.
Cáncer es arcoma.
I was laying down and I was trying to get back up. I started feeling this sharp pain like close to my ribs. I told my brother, and the next thing you know, I just started feeling kind of woozy. So he took me to the hospital.
When BHS students found out Jesus would have to drop out of school, they jumped in.
I started the GoFundMe because Miss McHugh was talking to us in art class about it, and she had a jar at the front of the room where people were donating like their change and like dollar bills and stuff. And I thought it would be better to make more money if we put it online so that more people could see it and people could put more money in than just like a couple dollars that they had with them.
Students aren't the only ones pitching in. Chorus teacher Natalie Pratt took up donations from teachers and staff.
So Barbara Cable and I actually collected from the whole staff, and we just collected for probably a week and a half to 2 weeks, and we were able to collect close to $2,000, and we gave that to Narciso for his son's health.
It makes me feel better, like people supporting me and all that.
Proof that when times are tough, Brentwood High steps up. Ford Waldrop, WBHS9 News.
Brentwood High students who have recently passed away are being remembered in the library. BHS recently celebrated Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. The 3-day Mexican holiday remembers those who have passed. Spanish students set up a shrine to 5 who died in recent years. They include Clark Cagle, John Miller, Owen Atkinson, Samara Islam, and Lucas Davis. The holiday offers families a chance to put aside their mourning and celebrate the lives of those who have lost.
A Nashville nonprofit is working to prevent a growing problem. Human trafficking is when a person is forced into prostitution or slave labor. Ben Mahaffey has more on Freedom's Promise.
Freedom's Promise is a nonprofit group that raises money to prevent human trafficking in Southeast Asia. Their Thrive techniques help to restore communities and bring freedom to the oppressed.
We work predominantly in Southeast Asia to prevent trafficking, and we do that through community development. So we have a community development model called Thrive, which stands for trafficking awareness, healthcare, restoration through Christ, income generation, vocational training, and education.
Freedom's Promise provides programs and tools for underprivileged women from Cambodia and Myanmar to be successful in their professional and personal lives.
In Cambodia, we have a sewing center, a vocational training center that provides jobs for women, and then when they graduate from our vocational training program, we gift them a sewing machine where they can start their own small business and work for themselves, or we hire them back on to come on staff with us.
The root cause of people being in at-risk situations can include anything from a lack of a proper education to the lack of employment. But Freedom's Promise is working to address and prevent these issues at their core.
So by addressing these root causes, by providing an education, by providing jobs, by providing restoration and identity and worth that's spoken over them as children and as men, as women, then we're able to give them an opportunity in a future.
Migration is a huge issue in Cambodia. In the 1970s, there was a mass genocide where a quarter of the population was killed, some 3 million people. With an entire generation in Cambodia missing, Freedom's Promise is working to restore the younger generation and see change brought to Cambodia.
We see at Freedom's Promise this next generation of leaders rising up. These kids that are in their 20s and 30s, starting new careers, and by investing in them and discipling that next generation of leaders, we're seeing change in Cambodia as a nation. We're seeing people come to know their worth and their identity in Christ, and also just as individuals. We're seeing them desire to move back into their rural communities and invest in the local community there and in other places across Cambodia, which has been really cool to be a part of.
Human trafficking is a $150 billion industry. Right now, there are more than 40 million people enslaved around the world, but you can help.
A great way to get involved with us would be to come volunteer at a fair trade event where we're selling our products at a fair or a local event. Another way would be to travel with us, to come to Cambodia. We take interns, and we take teams of churches or schools or businesses.
Although there is still work to be done, Freedom's Promise continues to change countless lives and make a huge difference. Ben Mahaffey, WBHS9 News.
2 very deserving staff members are being honored for their hard work. Teresa Ashcraft was named Brentwood High Teacher of the Year. Miss Ashcraft has taught special needs students for 20 years. Attendance Office Secretary Christy Moore is the 2019 Employee of the Year. She's been at BHS for 6 years. The winners were chosen by teachers and staff.
Veterans helping veterans. After 30 years in the National Guard, Colonel John Crinson is helping down on their luck servicemen and women get back on their feet. Noah True has more on that story.
In the heart of downtown Nashville, Colonel John Crinson is in charge of Operation Stand Down Tennessee, a program that helps veterans return to civilian life. A veteran himself, John's inspiration to join the military came while he was in high school.
I left to study in the country of Finland for a year. I was an exchange student for 1 year. And there were other exchange students from throughout Europe there, and every single one of them, except for those of us from the U.S., were going to be going into conscripted service once they turned 18. And that really struck me because I felt like I came from the freest country on earth, and I had no obligation to do anything.
John spent 30 years in the Tennessee Army National Guard, 3.5 years of which were on active duty. During that time, he was deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan, as well as to Mississippi in response to Hurricane Katrina. During his time in the military, John learned many life lessons that he still recalls to this day.
And I was doing pretty good as a cadet in ROT. I was an ROTC student at Marquette University in Milwaukee. And I had really started to get involved with things outside of ROTC, and so I blew off. I had made arrangements to meet with one of my military instructors because of something else that I had arranged to miss some training. But I also missed the rescheduled training. Not a good idea. And that instructor called me on the carpet in a very big way, and they even threatened to pull my scholarship and make me enlist. And then I'd be off to basic training before I graduated. I don't think they really meant it, but it scared me. So I straightened up, which is, it's a life lesson. You've got obligations, and you got to meet these obligations.
Following his retirement from active duty, John found himself struggling to look for ways to get back into civilian life.
And I really wasn't sure what I was going to do, so I kind of went back into some things I'd done before, but then the opportunity at Stand Down presented itself. The founding executive director, whom I knew, was retiring, and they were looking for somebody with some business experience and to help transform the agency from one that dealt with only chronically homeless veterans to, again, with veterans in transition.
In addition to providing support for veterans and their families, Operation Stand Down offers legal aid for vets struggling to receive their VA benefits. It also helps with job skills and referrals to help them find employment, as well as providing basic necessities such as food.
We still are all about working with chronically homeless veterans, but we've been able to see that number go down. So now more and more we're really trying to reach veterans as soon as we can in their transition to civilian life so we can get them off to a great start in the civilian world. So we connect veterans with resources, with each other, and then we connect the community with veterans as well.
Colonel Crenson says the best way to help Operation Stand Down is to refer it to veterans who may be in need of their services, as well as attending community events and donating to the group directly. Noah True, WBHS9.
One of Brentwood's oldest businesses has reopened. The Brentwood Deli and Market originally opened on Franklin Road in 1968. After several ownership changes, it closed earlier this year. But Brentwood couple Haley and Jeremy Height bought and renovated the building this fall and now offer everything from soft drinks and snacks to home-cooked meals to go. The market is open from 6 to 6, Monday through Saturday.
Brentwood is celebrating its 50th anniversary with the mural of its history and culture. Malachi Grassman has that story.
Brentwood is a city filled with a rich history and culture. In order to celebrate this long history, Brentwood commissioned its first mural. They chose Brentwood artist April James to paint the mural in City Park.
We originally decided that we wanted some historic parts of Brentwood, and also some newer parts of Brentwood. Part of Brentwood's history is music. We have Boiling Springs, and then next to that is Brentwood's old city seal. We have some horses and farmland because that is also part of Brentwood and has been always. And the WSM Tower that everyone knows, and Ravenswood Mansion.
Deciding on these important parts of Brentwood's history and culture was a difficult decision.
Getting to that point was difficult. Just like I said, it was a big collaboration with lots of ideas and putting them all together and finding something that everyone likes. And when you're trying to find something that everybody likes, it can almost be impossible. Everyone's voice was heard and everyone got a say in what it looked like.
It took April 2.5 weeks to paint the mural. She says it was both hard work and fun.
I have kind of made this a little bit of a game, and I added in several green triangles all over the mural. So if you ever want to spend a little extra time out here trying to find them, they are they're scattered around, and over by my name where I signed it, I actually put a little number, the number 23, that tells you how many triangles there are in the mural.
April James is thankful to be a piece of this historical event in Brentwood's history. Malachi Grassman, WBHS9 News.
Up next, a big honor for the Brentwood Band.
And after that, a record 15 BHS students signed to play sports in college. You're watching WBHS9 News.
In today's world, science and technology are becoming increasingly important. Historically, women have been underrepresented in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and math professions. With this being on the road to change, women are still in need of encouragement and empowerment into these industries. By exposing young girls to opportunities in STEM professions, they are encouraged to choose a career in the hard science fields. Increasing women in STEM will benefit our future. She can STEM, so can you.
It was a cold Thanksgiving break for the Brentwood High Band. 100 members of the band marched in the 87th annual Chicago Thanksgiving Day Parade. The band has taken part in the Macy's and Philadelphia parades in recent years, but this is the first time they've marched in Chicago. To see the entire parade, go to YouTube or WGN-TV's website and search for Chicago Thanksgiving Parade.
Winter athletics are in full swing. Justin King has this week's sports wrap-up.
Brentwood basketball is back after their deep run in the state tournament last season, and with several seniors in the starting lineup, Coach Greg Shirley believes they can make another run this season. They play at Summit tonight.
We sat down and made team goals, and our main goal is to improve every day and to stay as a family. I feel with those goals, our consequences could be to make another great run. I'm very proud that the last 3 years we're the only public school to have won 25 games, and making the state tournament twice was a great thrill. Harry Lackey's been with me for 4 years, great leader. Evan Drennan's been an amazing leader. Russell Mills, all three seniors are leaders in their own ways.
Lady Bruins basketball is also back, and they're led by twin seniors Emily and Delaney Truschel, who are committed to play at USC Aiken. They also play at Summit tonight.
Well, we've been practicing for a long time, and we really want to make it to the state tournament this year because we fell short last year and lost in the regional tournament, even though we thought we had the team to do it. So this year we only lost one senior, so we have basically the same team, and we really want to make it to Murfreesboro.
Brentwood had numerous Division I signees this year, headlined by multi-sport state champion Skylar Coffey committing to the University of Tennessee for track, and soccer goalie Kate Devine committing to Vanderbilt.
I'm really excited to be able to play Division I soccer, and since it's been almost 3 years since I committed, I'm really happy that I finally got to sign. My goal as a freshman is to go in and compete for starting time and playing time, and throughout the 4 years I want to just keep getting better and play a lot.
The two-time region tournament champion Brentwood wrestling team is back with a vengeance after their early 2018 exit in the region duels. With number 1 ranked heavyweight Skylar Coffey and number 2 ranked 195 Johnny Mac Feldhacker, there is promise for the Bruins.
All right, so man, we got a great wrestling team this year. I've been waiting for this class of seniors since their sophomore year, man. I knew they had something special. This is their senior year, so I've been excited about this. I'm gonna cry when they leave. But our goals for our team this year is to repeat winning our region, which we've done for the last 2 years in a row. So we're gonna try to repeat it for the 3rd year in a row this year. And we want to place in the top 5 or so in the state tournament, and that's one of our goals there as well. And so that's what we're shooting for goal-wise. We've got some exceptional wrestlers on this team. We're going to do great as a team, and we've got a lot of individuals that are going to achieve a lot of success this year.
They return to the mat tomorrow against Father Ryan at Father Ryan. Justin King, WBHS9 Sports.
A big honor for a group of Brentwood High students. 16 seniors earned National Merit Semifinalist honors. Semifinalists scored in the top 1% of the PSAT. In Tennessee, that's a 1430. As usual, BHS had more than any other school in the county. In February, National Merit finalists will be announced, qualifying students for extra scholarship money.
As the temperatures fall, Tennessee churches open up their sanctuaries for the homeless. Harrison McConnell has more on Room in the Inn.
Room in the Inn is a program where churches across the nation host homeless men and women for one night. They give them free clothes, food, and other accessories, including soap and shampoo. Brentwood United Methodist is one of the churches that sponsor this event.
Yeah, so we host 14 people at a time, either all men or all women, and basically we go down, pick them up, we bring them back here in our church van. When they get here, we do laundry for them. We offer them showers, clothing. We have a warm meal.
The generosity doesn't just end there. The church also feeds them breakfast and provides them a sack lunch before returning them downtown. The program has come a long way since it started in 1985.
So about 30 years ago, Room in the Inn started with humble beginnings. Father Charlie Strobel, who's a Catholic priest downtown, had some homeless people that were showing up in his parking lot, and he started out by giving them peanut butter sandwiches.
Coming from those humble beginnings, Room in the Inn has expanded more than 200 congregations across Middle Tennessee. They open their doors 1 or 2 nights a week between November and March. The key to the growth and success is the volunteers.
We'll hear many, many good stories of why they're out there, and it's pretty amazing what has happened, just one little thing that put them out there. So I don't know, it's just something, and my parents always were helping people, so I kind of grew up with that, and just knowing that if someone needs your help, you should help them.
After starting in Nashville, Room in the Inn has expanded to 36 cities in the U.S. and Canada. They're helping the homeless one night at a time. Harrison McConnell, WBHS9 News.
Coming up, big changes for a Christmas tradition.
And the holiday spirit is lighting up Brentwood.
Cut, connect, create. Premiere Pro.
Brentwood is in the Christmas spirit. While the Brentwood High Chorus sang Christmas songs, the 21st annual tree lighting took place at the library. This year's tree features special 50th edition ornaments to celebrate Brentwood's 50th year as a city.
Just every year, just a beautiful tradition in Brentwood. The lights and the tree, beautiful tree out in front of the library, and people see it going down Concord Road or Knox Valley. every day and evening, and I just think it's such a great tradition in Brentwood.
After the tree lighting, children young and old gathered inside the library for a reading of the Polar Express.
An even older holiday tradition has a new location. WBHS9's Alex Isbell takes us to Christmas Village.
Customers stood in long lines to get to the 58th annual Christmas Village. Each year, hundreds of merchants attend the crafts fair at the state fairgrounds. Since 1961, Christmas Village was held in exhibition halls at the fairgrounds, but this year, because of a new soccer stadium construction, it moved to the corner of Wedgwood and Nolensville Road. Brentwood High's very own David Moody is even a Christmas Village vendor.
I have a company, Vintage Dreams Playhouses. I've been doing it for about 18 to 20 years. I lose track. I've been coming to Christmas Village for probably at least the last 15 to 18 years. Every year I build a tree house.
Even with longer lines than ever, Christmas Village is a great time for families to come together and get ready for the holiday spirit. Alex Isabel, WBHS9 News.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Oliver Brogdon.
And I'm Luke Fontesha. We leave you with music from the Brentwood Middle School Band's winter concert.